Swedish with Johanna, a podcast for beginners. Hi everyone! Welcome back! I hope you're doing well. Hej allihopa! Välkomna tillbaka! Jag hoppas att ni mår bra. Today's episode is going to be a lighter one. More language, less history. We're going to talk about something you hear all the time in Swedish, but almost never learn from textbooks. We're going to talk about fillers, or filler words. Utfyllnadsord. Utfyllnadsord. Small words that don't mean much on their own, but make your Swedish sound natural. So grab a snack, something to drink, and let's get started with today's episode. What are fillers? Fillers are words we use when we think, hesitate, soften a sentence, or keep the conversation flowing. They don't add information, but they add rhythm. So let's look at some common Swedish fillers. First, we have the word liksom. Liksom. If you've ever visited the capital of Sweden, Stockholm, you probably have heard the word liksom all the time. It's very common in Stockholm. The word liksom is probably one of the most common Swedish fillers. It can mean like, kind of, or nothing at all, depending on the context. Example sentence. First in English. I was really tired. And in Swedish, it will sound something like this. Jag var liksom jättetrött. Jag var liksom jättetrött. The next word is typ. Typ. Typ is often used to make something sound less exact. Example sentence. It took about 10 minutes. And in Swedish, it will sound something like this. Det tog typ 10 minuter. Det tog typ 10 minuter. Next, we have the word alltså. Alltså. Also is used when you explain, clarify, or emphasize something. Example sentence. I didn't know what to say. And in Swedish it would sound something like alltså, jag visste inte vad jag skulle säga. Alltså, jag visste inte vad jag skulle säga. The next filler is not really a word per se. It's more of a sound, I would say. It's either or Just like or in English, Swedish speakers say Mostly in Stockholm they say or but we use more. I think we use more in southern Swedish when they think. It really depends on where you're at in Sweden. And this filler sound, it doesn't really add much, but it usually are used when you are thinking out loud while you speak. If someone would ask me a question, just like I said now while recording this, if someone were about to ask me a question right now during the podcast and I am thinking out loud, I would probably say or that's the kind of filler we're talking about. But using fillers won't make your Swedish more correct, but they make it sound more human. And just as important, you don't need to force them. Understanding the fillers is often more important than using the fillers. With that said, it's time to wrap up today's episode, guys. That's all for me today. If you enjoyed my work and want to support the podcast, you can always become a member on Patreon. On Patreon, you'll get access to all the transcripts and vocabulary lists for each episode. You'll also find a bilingual book there. Before I leave you, next time you listen to Swedish, pay attention to the small words, not what they mean, but when they appear in the conversation. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ta hand om er, vi ses nästa gång. Hej då!